welcome to the new normal. Just taking a drive home from doing some shopping. In these new circumstances, things are really taking a hold here in Denmark. The authoritarianism is way underway. New restrictions, new laws, new everything, new powers for the state, for the police, for the intelligence agencies. They're running amok. Well, I think it's safe to take off this pandemic mask now that I'm in my car on my own. I'm not quite sure because I'm seeing many people driving in their cars all on their own with masks on and screens in front of their faces and what have you. So I'm not quite sure if this is safe, but I'm going to take the chance. As I was saying, the Danish government and its authorities are implementing new authoritarian laws, really restricting the Danish population's rights and freedoms. Now the government is wanting to be able to force vaccinate you, to section you. They are making a whole new category, social illnesses, which is just something that the government now can claim any kind of descent as an example. It's a social disease, and on that basis they can section you and put you into quarantine or force you to take vaccines and a whole range of a whole range of things that they are now able to do, and that's on top of ordering 17 million mink to be killed, despite only a few of them found with this new mutation of the COVID. Now the government has ordered every mink in Denmark to be culled or killed, in other words. And it has come out now that the government didn't even have a legal justification to claim people to kill their livestock. So now they have, despite not having any legal justification whatsoever, they are continuing intimidating the population by sending out the army, having the army phone people up, asking people if they have killed their mink yet, despite this new revelation that they didn't have legal justification to ask people to kill their livestock if there wasn't any signs of COVID. But the law and the law of the land and the human rights that we are signed to, amongst others the European Convention on Human Rights and Property Rights and what have you, those rights do not apply anymore under this new normal authoritarianism. So people, rightly so, are beginning to protest. There has been a big protest in Copenhagen, many thousands of people as far as I gather, and there has been a protest today in Aalborg, which I was supposed to go to, but as soon as I got word of where it was going to be, where it was going to take place, and what time, I have of course been subjected to extreme sleep deprivation, so I wasn't allowed to sleep all through the night. I wasn't allowed to fall asleep until 6 o'clock this morning, or 6:30 even, and I only slept a few hours. And I did try to make it, but by the time I got to Aalborg, it was already finishing. So I didn't make it because of the sleep deprivation I'm subjected to, in connection being to the subject of the program, being the boogeyman, which multiple states and governments base their entire program on, and that has not changed. Instead, this so-called pandemic is being intertwined with the program and the kind of draconian rules and regulations that are decided arbitrarily by the government and its intelligence agencies on a whim. And now it's truly obvious that I am nowhere near going to be the last kind of subject of the program. In the future, it's going to be not only persons one at a time, but it's going to be groups of people. Probably people who are dissenting will be put into categories and treated the way that I have been treated for more than a decade. This absolute social and political persecution, being stripped de facto of all my legal and human rights without ever being convicted of anything, without ever being charged of anything, and instead just being endlessly persecuted and labelled guilty for all sorts of extraordinary and serious criminal offences without ever seeing a day in court, and having those charges perpetuated by endless propaganda and psyop campaigns waged by the state arbiters of the program, that being the United States government predominantly and its intelligence agencies in collaboration with the Danish and British government, who are working together as it relates to the program and other things. Obviously, as can be seen through this COVID, we are definitely run by a global government, and that is pretty clear, since everybody is implementing the same rules and regulations all over the world, especially in the West. There is no more democracy. There is no more rights for the individual or groups of people. If your rights or interests conflict with the government's agenda or interest, you will be persecuted. It doesn't matter what the subject is. The only difference there will be is the kind of extent that they are willing to go. So if they are doubling down on something, an interest of the governments, you can be rest assured they will almost kill you through these soft power measures, and they are beginning to flirt with the notion of imprisoning and raiding people's home with no legal justification whatsoever. No court warrants, no nothing. Just banging your door down and basically kidnapping you and putting you in an unknown location for an undetermined amount of time, without no oversight of any kind. And this is the kind of new normal that we have here, and it's all being implemented through pandemics and manufactured crises, and overhyping the smallest of things, as in this corona, which is being overhyped, a death rate way under 2%, and yet it's being categorized as being a plague. So you see objective facts like this one, like the ones I am saying here, are almost definitely going to result that at some point in the nearest future they can have you sectioned for speaking objective facts. And I am not living in any kind of illusion. I am going to be one of the first people which they are going to try to section. Of course, they have already been trying to do this for ages, but it hasn't taken because there were too many laws in place. But these laws, as I was saying, are being superseded with these new laws that are being established by the government, coming into law. So it's a frightening future that we are heading towards, and if people don't stand up for their rights, you can be rest assured we are going to lose them, and we are going to lose them very, very fast.